very disappointed in myself because I managed to procrastinate the whole day and not film until 6 o'clock at night when I need to film and edit and also then upload tomorrow. So I've messed myself up. But anyway, let's just get on to the video. Hi guys, I'm Darcy, and I decided that instead of doing all these creative projects I keep doing for this channel, that I'm going to try and do at least 2 weeks of a creative form, and then on the next week it'd be more of a sit down chatty talk. This could change and I could do 1 week creative, 1 week not creative, 1 week creative, but that's just how I'm deciding to do it. But as you know, this week's theme is bedtime stories, so instead of going with my original idea, I decided I'm just going to have a chill sit down and talk about what books I like to read before I go to bed and what I believe is best to read before you go to bed. I apologise though because my voice has gone all gravelly for some reason and I have no idea why, but I think I'm coming down with a cold. Hopefully not, but who knows. I think I have a few rules for books I choose to read before I go to bed, and the one rule I always stick to is always read a book that is either independent and is not on like this big huge franchise that's like all these like different things to it, or if you do choose to read something in a franchise, make sure those little tiny books within them are quite small and easy to follow and quite a simple text, because otherwise your brain works too much and you'll end up keeping yourself awake. So for me personally, I choose to read things such as romance novels which are singular and only have 1 book in the series, or I choose to read Pretty Little Liars. Pretty Little Liars have quite a few books in them, but they're all very short and the chapters are very short, so if you want to go to sleep and you don't like leaving your book in the middle of a chapter, you can quickly read a chapter in 10 minutes. The second rule I probably have is that, again, if you do try to read a franchise book before you go to bed, make sure that you have watched the series or the movie, whatever, before you have decided to read the series. Because for me, if I choose to start reading a series book before I go to bed, I have no idea what is about to go on, and I don't even have like any clue. It's not even like hinted at in the series or the movie, because I haven't watched them. I would choose not to read that book at that certain time, because it's just so much more difficult getting yourself away from that book if you are reading from a completely new perspective. My third rule is probably that you read a book that you've already read, just because it makes it easier on yourself. You know what's going to happen. Choose a book that you really enjoy reading, and then you can familiarise yourself with that book, and it's just something where you can not really have to focus on what you're reading. You can just read to make yourself tired and then go to sleep. Simple as that. Rule number 4, I would say do not listen to audiobooks before you are going to bed. It makes things so much more difficult because you end up losing your place, you end up having to rewind loads, you end up then listening to the same thing over and over again, and it's just annoying. If you're reading a book and then you choose to go to audiobooks, it's just you see a huge difference, clearly, because it is a huge difference. But when you're going to bed, there's a very big chance that you're not going to fall asleep in between the chapters, because you're actively doing something. But when you're only listening, it's very easy to fall asleep, so don't do that. Because this is kind of such a short video, I decided I was going to go through some of my favourite books, the books I'm reading right now, ones I want to read in the future, blah blah blah. You get it. Okay. But anyway, I would say my favourite book series of all time is probably the Harry Potter franchise. I love them so much. I'm almost on my phone. Yeah, I really like the franchise. It's interesting, it's simple, and they're captivating. That's the whole thrill of Harry Potter. They are so captivating. I would say my second favourite book, or just my favourite standalone book, is a book called Woman in Berlin. It's such an amazing read. It's a diary entry of a woman in Berlin, like the name suggests, who lives in Nazi Germany, or somewhat. It's not really like showing you the extremes of Nazi Germany. It's mainly just showing you when they had to hide in their homes, and when Berlin, or all the Russian soldiers came into Berlin. And it goes through the accounts of how a lot of women got raped by the Russian soldiers, and how there was just so little hate in the people that weren't in the Nazi movement. Like, it even talks about a woman who they think is a lesbian because she's got short hair and she looks like a guy and all that lot. And never once does she judge her. She never says a bad word about anyone. And what makes it even more interesting is that no one knows who the woman is. No one knows who the person who wrote the diary is, and that's so much more interesting to me, and that makes it even more chilling, because it goes to show that even a diary, your memory's not going to live on forever, and that's scary. That is really, really scary, but it's interesting. Obviously, I've got Perfect, which is the third one in the Pretty Little Liars. Then I've got a sample of Game of Thrones, Paper Towns, Stranger Child, Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, Insurgent, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, A Shade of Vampire, I Am Number 4, The Woman in Black, The Rosie Effect, Anne Frank's Diary, City of Glass, New Moon, Breaking Dawn, Heavenly Fire, The Letter, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, Elysian, Guy Martin's autobiography, City of Lost Souls, Twilight Again, Eclipse, The Hobbit, Catching Fire, The Maze Runner, Mockingjay, Divergent, The Rosie Project, City of Ashes. Those are all the ones I have in my Kindle right now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this just sit down and talk video, because I am relieved that I decided to do this, because I cannot sit down and do creative videos every single week. It actually wears me out, and I have all these mocks to get used to. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. If you go down in the description bar below, you can find my Twitter and my YouTube account, as well as every other person on this channel one as well. So if you want to go check them out, please do. And also there will be a link in the description box below of a form that you can fill out to give us suggestions for week themes, and also if you want to be Feature Friday. And you can also go in the description box and find our sister channel, which is Second Banana Society. Please do go check that out, because there are some amazing people on there, and it would just be nice if you could support both of these channels. So yeah, I hope to see you next week on Spare Banana Society. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week. Bye!